Cute, sexy, and fun. You're watching CSF Nation's own WMK TV, Channel 90.
Good morning, CSF Nation. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day weekend. I know I did. I got to spend it with you-know-who, of course. He is watching the show right now. But at least you didn't have so much rain dumped on you like what happened to us last week. So it is a much more... Well, we'll have to find out in this week's 7-day forecast. But before we do, I do want to wish our American audience, I know we have a lot of audience who watch from the United States, happy President's Day on Monday. And also, I want to wish a special happy birthday to my friend and colleague, Briannah, one of the hosts of Makini Live. Hopefully you look forward to spending your birthday with family and friends on Thursday. We'll definitely try to hook up and celebrate as well over the weekend. And I know you have a new look planned for us. I can't wait to see it. So anyway, let's go ahead and really get into this week's 7-day forecast. And we have to thank Bellabog Real Estate for sponsoring. This will be a week of dry conditions and lingering showers after the amount of rain that we got last week. Temperatures will get into the upper 50s to lower 60s for the highs and lows to mid to upper 40s throughout this week. The frost advisory from last week will stay in effect and will begin from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. So, of course, make sure to defrost before heading out on your morning commute this week. Although it will feel dry for the first couple of days, a weak cold front will make its way into the CSF Nation in the middle of the week. So, with slightly higher winds. But the good news is the wind advisory from last weekend. Well, the winter advisory will last from last week, in fact, ended on Sunday. And hopefully we didn't have that many reports of falling trees and down power lines as we did 2 weeks prior. So that is great news to hear. I can't say the same for the storm that rolled in last week, as another storm forming off of the Gulf will be on Monday and will bring in more rain and scattered showers, specifically on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It will get dry with lingering clouds afterwards as we head into this weekend. On President's Day, and course only U.S. viewers, expect plenty of rain if you're in Palmetto Valley, Royale, and Valhallaberg. That should let up by the early evening. One more thing to know is in the weekend, expect cloudy to overcast skies with highs in the upper 60s, highs in the lower 60s to upper 50s, and lows to the mid to upper 40s. Possible chance of light rain returning starting next week. And that concludes this week's 7-day forecast, sponsored by Bellabog Real Estate, a new player in the industrial sector as well, with heavy machinery and construction. And most reliable, let me say that one more time. And that concludes this week. Let me say that again. Oh my God. And that concludes this week's 7-day forecast, sponsored by Bellabog Real Estate. The most reliable real estate for over 20 years, and even breaking into the industrial sector with heavy machinery and construction services as well. Build your home, build your business, build your dreams with Bellabog Real Estate. I am Maricel, teleproducer and weather girl for Makini in the Morning, And I wish all of you a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Until next time. Now it is time for Makini in the morning. Ciao!
All right, here we go. Excellent. All right. We are ready to rock. All right. Do I sound better? That's a good question. Do I sound much better this time? Mike's a little more closer as well. All right. Cool. All right. We almost set everything up. We're almost ready. All right. And good morning, CSF Nation. I'm Makini 90, art streamer and illustrator. Welcome you to the slightly early Wednesday edition of Makini in the morning. I don't want to hold you guys up any while longer. So let me share my screen real quick. I will not hold you guys up any longer. Let me share my screen real quick. Booyah. So the lines are done. Started on the flats last night. And today we're getting the flats done. We're going to finish the rest of the flats and we're going to start rendering. The rendering part is going to look forward to. So the rendering and I think the coloring, I'm really going to look forward to on the clothing though. So, but let me turn these flats off real quick. That's how it looks in gray tone. Now, if you guys would like to let me know, scale 1 to 10, what do you guys think of Bree's new look this time around? Love to hear from you guys on that one. Speaking of which, we do have some topics to go over, including one particular topic that even I admit may have jumped the gun on. I admit that I might have jumped the gun on just a little bit. But it's clear that a lot of people did jump the gun when it was first broken. So we will be covering that on today's show. We'll probably have a couple other stuff. We'll check into we'll check into the Steam charts, player charts for Avowed, as it is definitely a definitely interesting point of contention regarding how it is doing now that now it's fully launched, so it's a full launch, so we'll get to definitely check that out. And yeah, the goal today is to get to really get into the rendering. So anyway, let's go and get right into it, guys. Smack that like button, make it jiggle. Smack that subscribe button, make it jiggle as well. I will have a new video. I'm aiming for Friday. If not Friday, then it will be on Saturday. So I will have a new video up later this week. Okay, let's go ahead and say hi to everyone in the everyone in the chat, and we will let's go and turn the music on for a certain someone in the chat as well. Let's go and get this music up and running. Perfect. All right, how's my mic though? Because I adjusted my mic settings so it's much more closer this time around. Let me know. Okay, boys, you ready? Boys and girls, are you ready? All right, let's go say hi to everybody in the chat. Let me know if it's too loud. First up, Power is breaking it up already. We will get into that in just a little bit. Nasty diverse live action movie. Movie takes place on Earth, and it looks like it's been confirmed. So it looks like it's going to be a fish out of water again. Funny thing with I think we can all agree that the console war was over. We can all agree that the console wars was over once both Sony and Microsoft put their titles on PC, and now the fanboys on both sides of the aisle are coping and seething at this point. And we got some manga stuff right now. We do have some manga stuff. Okay, Western Reality, anime piracy. We'll definitely tell. I probably got some videos queued up, in which we will go over as well. So during our breaks too. Some manga stuff, manga piracy stuff going on right there too. Okay, thank you so much, Power. Okay, Penny, good morning. So it looks like in the world of entertainment, it looks like Doctor Who may be on its last leg. Is Ncuti Gatwa, the first gay black doctor, is reported already to left the set. Reports already left the series, and with a possible third season of the titular doctor, up in limbo. They're saying that workers are saying, don't hold your breath for the next 10 years. So it's likely that they might end up just pulling the plug altogether. Keep in mind that Gatwa has suffered probably the lowest rate, some of the lowest ratings in Doctor Who history, and people were fed up with the way the stories were very much written. Now, in my humble opinion, I think Doctor Who has been in a downward spiral since the Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall era. So this is nothing surprising, basically. This is nothing surprising, basically, to me with Doctor Who at this point. honestly, honestly, the direction they've kind of gone for, especially with Russell T Davies being heavy on the activism pushing side, has really ruined the has really caused a lot of damage to the series, let alone the whole timeless children episode, which pretty much destroyed which pretty much did a lot of reparable damage to the lore as well. So from what I've been watching reviews from like Disparu and Gary, yeah, such like that. And yeah, this has been Bullstrack, of course. Yeah, this is yeah. Doctor Who, I think it's on its last leg. I think it's on its last leg, and like Disney is like flipping a bill with the whole, having it set on with streaming it. So yeah, this ain't happening. And plus, it doesn't help that Shotzi Gatwa did the same thing that Jodie Whittaker did during her run as the titular Doctor, and that is antagonize the fan base. So yeah, not a good look. Not a good look. Future may be spelling grim for the one who love BBC series. Okay. Eli, good morning to you. Difficulty, good morning to you. All right, Penny, good morning to you. The music is up and running. All right, difficulty, good morning to you. Yes, Lucky Nico, you guys are definitely talking about the whole Marvel rival situation. Like I said, I think a lot of us jumped the gun at that time. That was especially me. A lot of us jumped the gun on that one, especially me. Sean is saying, yeah, I saw it the same way soon as, but it's unfortunate for Seattle people, but it's China. We could have seen it coming. They're trimming the fat. Yeah, that's what it basically is. It's just trimming the fat at this point. And that's true, because somebody was asking, what someone's asking in the comments on the post I made yesterday. What was what did Seattle contribute? And from what we're listening to, it seems that the Seattle branch or whatever, didn't contribute that much. Like I said, we'll probably have a video going full into it. It'll probably be from Kaya, who rightfully didn't jump the gun. Caught people jumping the gun on that one. Yeah, what they were offered and what the showing was. Yeah, that's true. So we'll get into a video on that one as well. Okay, let's see how we get it. Okay, so we do have some stuff queued up, so we'll be ready to watch that on today's show. But today we're 18 minutes in. Let's go ahead and focus on. Let's go ahead and focus on this right here. Okay, let me get my timer. Let me get my clock ready. My Pomodoro clock ready for this one, and we will get started. Good morning, Loki, Skull, and Tuck, and roll. All right. Okay, let's do this. So we're at a good start. We are at a good start, ladies and gentlemen. So for this first 25, let's finish out the hair. Let's clear up the hair. And then start on the base layer. The base clothing layer. So I'll explain along the way, okay? All right, put my gloves on. Let's go ahead and do this. Glove on. Let's do this, y'all. Let's do it. I'm excited for this one. I am very much excited for this one. All right. I'm very, very much excited for this one. Okay. And music perfect music. right, sorry about that. Okay. Is this allow? Okay, allow. Okay, let's do this. All right. So where I picked up last time, and I would definitely advise everyone. I definitely would advise everyone to watch part one, to tune into part one of this stream on Monday. Part one of this on Monday, especially in the later half, where my chat basically it basically tricked me into further fleshing out Briannah's backstory, which we went into a long discussion about that too. 20 minutes in is already a dislike. Yikes. Anyway. Okay. Hair is ready. So let's go ahead. So we're just going to fix out that hair. Let's go and start on the clothing. We're just going to do a base layer for the clothing first before we base layer for the clothing first. And we're going to start base layer for the clothing first, and then we'll we're going to save the gold areas for what's the word I'm looking for? Gold areas for the separate layer. That's going to be under the jewelry layer, basically. So, okay. So clothing is going to be because we want to keep it tuned to a black and gold color scheme. Let's see this thing. That might be a little too dark. Here. Okay, that's probably perfect there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. We got a comic win. Plushy win. Video game vintage win. Stop it. Oh, stop it, man. All right. Here. No, yes, Lily, you guys got me to really flush that out. You guys got me to really flush that out yesterday. That was crazy, though. That was absolutely crazy. And we put together a little. I put together a little petal kind of inspired family crest for Briannah that you see that she's wearing right here. I'm just going to flush this out a bit here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got hair. So we got that. Now it's time for the clothing. Oh, sorry. And then she's gonna have a mesh as well. We're gonna add a couple of meshes. We're gonna add a couple of mesh textures underneath. This is just the base. Like I said, this is just the base design. This is just the base colors we're adding first before we really get into the little details. And it's distinctly she's going to have a black and gold, distinctly just a black and gold color scheme throughout. With what I'm thinking is the white may be, we may add some white to the top because it might be a good contrasting color. I know that's that really does hit much closer to. I know that does hit a lot closer to Evelyn's. What's her name? Evelyn's design from Zenless 2, which I've been really adoring more and more, honestly. Something I've really adored more and more, actually. So let me go ahead and get a color long lines here. No, but I thank you guys so much. I do thank you all for this. Like was gonna keep you humble. Just get me, keep you humble. Just getting it. Wait, did you dislike it? Dang. was like, any reason why, sir? I'm very curious. I'm very curious, Eli. I'm very curious. That's probably. It's probably not. I think at this point, although the channel, although I've been kind of seeing some dips, some rises and dips and like subs and stuff like that, I think I'm starting to get a naturally. I'm starting to just think it's like, okay, every stream I do is naturally going to get a dislike at this point. So it's just like automatic. I would be surprised if I don't have a video or stream that doesn't get a dislike, at least one. So it is what it is. Plus dislikes are engagement. So dislikes counts engagement. So it is what it is. Which makes me think people are probably going to not like my next video. People are probably not going to like the next video. Or I'm probably going to probably step on a couple of toes a little bit in the next video, and that is me covering Greg Miller of Kind of Funny, and that's gonna be a blast. Oh, that's gonna be a blast. I'm spending a dislike reporting on that one. So she's got a full Bree's got a full black suit. It wasn't me, I'm kidding. I know it wasn't you. I'm just like, I would have been like, I must have I know it wasn't you, Eli. I know it wasn't you, because I would because I knew I would have effed up. I would have done something real bad. I would have screwed up real bad to get a dislike from you. Oh, huge trust. Yeah, Greg Miller, Kind of Funny, which they're not really funny as much anymore. No, I kind of go in on him on that one. That was his little outburst. That I don't know if that was the DICE Awards, the DICE Summit, or something like that. Yeah, I covered that. I thought that was a little hilarious, though, because if you guys know of Greg Miller's history, along with one Colin Moriarty. Let's just say someone threw someone else under the bus while they were driving it. Oh my god. Okay, and with that, let's just say that much. I'm just saying, if you're watching, just remember you really can't say F Musk while you're using Twitter while you're verified with a blue check mark and a gold check mark on Twitter. So just remember that. Yeah. But it's funny. It is absolutely funny. It's funny. You guys are flipping amazing. Okay, here. Still got 16 minutes as we're going along. So it's going to be black. So it's going to be predominantly black with Bree's design is going to be predominantly black, but with the gold trims. I think the top is going to be white, though. Not sure the weather when women's wear is. I'll get you a dislike from me. Gotcha. Got it. Good to know. Good to know, Eli. Good to know. By the way, Eli, I am skipping the second Evangelion collab in Nikkei. I'm just gonna wait that out until probably whatever the next collab is after. I'm still waiting for the near rerun nor the Stellar Blade collab. So. Okay. Let me do these faces. Let me do this top here. Remember, the clothing layer is underneath the hair. There we go. Okay, clothing layer is going to be underneath the hair on this one. I could just auto-filled it, but I gotta feel it. I prefer this way to just feeling it, like right inside. You got me. You knew what the funny thing was. The funny thing was that Monday got me thinking, though. Monday got me really thinking because Grumpy and big thanks to Grumpy and Emerald, who was a part of this whole backstory. And what was what I thought would be really interesting was that, because I talked about Bree's kind of backstory involving prejudice, basically. And I thought about that, and I also thought that how that prejudice could come from not just from outside around her, but also from internal relationships with the extended parts of the Akasha family. That's something I thought about, basically, Christian, with how it seems that other family members who are much more aligned in traditional Japanese culture didn't really accept Briannah's family because of how dark their skin tone was, though. And I thought about how that would create a bit of conflict too. How that would create some conflict as well. I could see that, like, part of that could lead to. I could see part of that. I'm just cleaning up the skin tone, by the way. I could see how part of that could lead to pent up frustration as well. From not just from that, but also seeing how possibly her father, both her parents were being treated for it, and that was something that's why that giving her an outlet such as like martial arts was a good way to release that pent up anger, release that frustration, to let that frustration go, and just and also to attain a clear mind, a little more calmer. What she would go on to become much more calmer demeanor as well, because it felt because it was frustrated for her. And it would also cause a moment to. I could also see a moment of. I could also see a moment of lashing out at extended family, lashing out at relatives, though. They're blood. They are blood. They're they're our family. They are blood by nature, basically. Okay, so we got that here. I would say this is probably the most. I would argue this is definitely going into the more futuristic look for her, though, too. Earthly. I could see that. One thing I found interesting, because I just posted. If you guys just saw the community post, I did 2 community posts before we went live. The second one was me going back to Newgrounds. I'm back posting again on Newgrounds, by the way. Um, no, but the first community post was line art of all of Brianna's previous designs leading up to the current one. And what I found interesting was that it almost definitely feels like a change in time. It almost definitely feels like a change in like the older like as the time as the designs change. Well, as the designs change, and I'm going to put this under rendering details here. As the designs change for Bree, as the designs change for Bree, um, it seems that I get the sense that she's like opting to go more of a more slimmer, more athletic kind of butt athletic, but still very, very ripped. Very, very ripped. As you can see, she still has the toned. She still has the ripped abs, by the way. She still has it. You can still see that there. You can still see the eight pack. But it feels like she's slimming down. I guess I like to think that she's probably slimming down to be much more of an athletic feel to give her an athletically ripped thick build in a way. Maybe going too bulky might not have been a may not be her preference anymore. Is that as much as she still works out like crazy, but she starts slimming down to have a more to have a much more maneuverable build as well. That's why I said that you put Brie in a you put her in a fight game, and I see her as more of a striker versus a full on grappler. Yes, she's tall. Yes, she's tall. Yes, she's cut to the nines. Yes, she's cut to the nines. Yes, she can bench press more than I could ever could. She can bench press way more than I ever could. But it seemed that also going more slimmer might ease out that as well. Might make her much more want to be much more maneuverability though. Make it much more maneuverable. Anyway, let's do the mesh. Let's do a mesh real quick. I'll put this on top. So I'll put this on top. So we're gonna put a mesh on top. We have 6 minutes. Okay. So the mesh goes into the mesh goes into the under the mesh goes basically underneath the top. Yeah, she has a lot more. There's a lot more side boobage. There's a lot more side boob here, and there's a lot of under. There's still plenty of under boob as well. But she has a mesh on. But what she's wearing is a mesh pattern underneath, similar to similar to Skyla's design. She's got a mesh. And her outfit is I think her outfit is just one full sleeveless bodysuit basically. Suit she's wearing. All right, so, Okay, let's get to 40. So we got that there. And then what we can do, she's bad as hell. Like you said, this is probably one of the most stylish too. And I could probably think how much I adore Evelyn's design and Zen list for kind of yeah, there we go too. Like in the previous, like in the last designs for the reboot, I mentioned how I was very much influenced by the likes of Stellar Blade. Really was influenced by Stellar Blade's designs, but this one is definitely much more. This one's definitely a mishmash though, but this one feels much more sleek. That's the benefit. The cool part is that this feels really sleek though. Okay, so we're gonna put I'm gonna put a noise. We're gonna put a noise brush basically. Let me go ahead. You got a noise. You got a noise here. Set the multiply. Okay, so we got a noise. We got a subtle noise texture here. Or mesh. Well, yeah, we'll just keep it like that. We'll just keep it like that. We could probably add the noise later. Actually, no. Actually, I should do it this way. We do it this way. Okay. There we go. Much better. Okay. What I'm adding is a subtle mesh texture. Something to think about is like something I also think about is like here we go. There we go. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so we got that, all that. Now the last part is, of course, the jewelry. The jewelry is going to be a larger layer too. Okay, I got 13 people watching. Thank y'all so much. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is going to be my part. So she's going to have a distinctly black and gold scheme, and it's going to be wearing throughout. There's gold trim throughout her as well. So, let me find a good. Let me find a real good color for gold. I don't know if I have. I don't have my whole work, do I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do I have one of the girls though? I sadly do not. I don't think I do. No. I got a splash page. I can use a splash page. All right, we can use a splash page for this one. I can use the splash page for this one. She's really looking very elegant, very What? Oh, okay. Okay, we'll have to figure it out. Okay, we will have to figure it out on our own. Okay, we'll have to figure it out. Okay. Figure out a really good gold, a gold tone, basically. Hey, Punk Waddle, good to see you. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Okay, let's do. Okay, no worries about that then. What we can do. No worries. Okay. Sounds like a darker gold. Sounds like a darker gold. Although it is gold, though. I think this should be around that there. Okay. Okay, so jewelry. That's what I'm putting. I'm gonna put jewelry and. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. We'll wait. we'll wait. Basically. Okay. Never mind. We'll wait. So, 5-minute break. We'll make this quick. So with Marvel Rivals, let's go ahead and get the news. Let's go ahead and break down this news basically. So, because some people are jumping the gun, basically, it's come from IGN. The director in the entire Seattle design team, NetEase, told the fans not to worry, basically. Thaddeus Susser, who took the link in, announced that he and his Seattle team were laid off, basically. The video game development community reached with a mix of shock and anger given to the cuts. Marvel Rivals' success, the hero shooter with over 20 million. His launch has seen a huge peak in concurrent numbers on Steam. Here's the base around here. So, what the latest round of layoffs at SE was a pullback overseas markets. The latest round of net layoffs at NetEase, which has pulled back from a number of overseas markets and closed the U.S. studios in Japan, including Visions of Mana developer Oka Studios in November. Worlds, blah blah blah. But essentially, let me go ahead and read this here. We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals' development structure team for the original organizational reasons to optimize development efficiency for NetEase. For the game, NetEase says there was the result in a reduction of design team based in Seattle that is a part of a larger global design function in support of Rivals. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected and will be treating it confidentially and respectfully recognition for their individual contribution. But NetEase was keen to stress that the layoffs won't be impacting the ongoing support for Rivals, which primary development team is in China. So as difficulty, and other people were saying, some people were just saying cutting the Seattle team likely is just more trimming down the fat, basically. We want to reassure that our fan base is the core fan base from Marvel Rivals, which continues to be led by producer Wei-Kong Wu and game director Gyongyan Chen in Guangzhou, China. Remains fully committed to delivering the exceptional experience. Now, let's go ahead. It might be a case where they just didn't need that many people. They didn't need such a huge team. They focus on the core team. Some people were just saying that it does sound like they're just trimming the fat, basically. Yeah. So yeah. Guidance, strategy, design direction. Did they bring up the? Yeah. There's a lot of different opinions on this one. Let's see. Yeah, but it is meant to optimize development in. I just want to see what the Seattle team did, basically. They don't bring up the roles here. Here, I'm gonna switch out. We only got a minute 14 left of our break, so I'm gonna go to Kyle's video real quick. So,
hello. But I think the word of the day needs to be reality. And the reality is what goes around comes around. I'm no stranger to how unfair things can be. As a matter of fact, when everyone gets as good as I am, they'll understand how unfair Chinese NetEase matchmaking can be. But for clarity and context, I felt the need to make a video to intercept a bit of the others potentially rushing their information out to say that this is just one of the game directors, not the main one of an R&D team, their words, based in America. And it is not unusual when a project has reached completion. However, naturally, the approved sentiment is, how can this be? This game is successful and there's still layoffs. This is proof that no matter what I do in this industry, it's just gonna end with me getting laid off no matter what. No matter what, it's because I'm trans. Oh, it's because of my political belief. Power and had nothing or little to do with the creative direction of the game. So take it with what you will. A tragedy, of course. The hope is that these people quickly bounce back on their feet and resume their talented work in an industry that hopefully shines a bit more security on them in the future. To quickly read a few popular comments floating around in normie spaces. Only in the gaming industry can you make a wildly successful game, one of the biggest hits in recent memory, and still get laid off and fired. The gaming industry needs to crash at this point. Nothing else will wake these corporations up. Looks like they need to get the OG, traditional version of woke. I agree, but only in the West. They're going to be hired to make DC rivals now. Wouldn't that be funny? Competition in my gaming industry, making things better than they've been. Does this mean that the game is going to get progressively worse from here on? Of course it does not. A post from the Seattle lead reads, "This is such a weird industry. My stellar, talented team just helped deliver an incredibly successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for NetEase Games, and we're just laid off. Oh well, times are tough all over. Let's find these incredible people new jobs, because we all need to eat, right?" It goes on like this. There's an interview linked below if you're particularly interested. Like I mentioned earlier, the arrival of the second half of Marvel's Season 1.
I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing here. And if Loki, if you're still listening, I posted this in the Friday chat, and I saw this, and it remained, because I saw the trailers for Ben and Johnny Storm look really good, but I couldn't help remiss thinking that Mike clobbering time, if he was still with us today, he would have lost it seeing a really a truly authentic Ben Grimm finally. It's just wanted to. I saw that and I had to post it to the Friday chat because it just it just made me think that Clobbering Time would have loved if he was still here with us. Clobby would have loved to see this, man. So I just want to say that this is a great looking Ben Grimm, by the way, and it's a great sounding Ben Grimm, by the way.
Brings Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm to Marvel Rivals. To say that I've had a love-hate relationship recognizing just how severe it would punish great performance in this game would be an understatement. But to say that it isn't doing something right in this game.
Oh, what was it? What does that say? Kevin Feige rejecting Carol Danvers' rejecting the Warbird outfit. Yeah, Feige's full of crap.
Would be an understatement. But to say that it isn't doing something right would again be an understatement. I can't help in my videos focusing on what works and therefore doesn't need fixing. But the West has spent a long time breaking things, and I'm forced to wonder if games that came out 8 years ago, like Azure Lane, can satisfy fans so routinely that they're making millions monthly, are now setting their sights on Pokemon Genshin styled Azure Promelia type games. Exactly how is the West going to compete? You've got Genshin's MiHoYo or HoYoverse working on an upcoming Stardew Valley meets Animal Crossing type. You've got another comfy Animal Crossing adjacent cozy game in Flotopia, another NetEase game coming out. You've got Sims likes like Inzoi. You've got Crimson Desert coming to remind people what a RPG should feel like. You've got Mecha Breaks Beta on the 23rd. That's just days from now. What's the West doing? Forcing Nikocado Avocalos? Arguing with their fans in the comment sections of the Twitter X platform they can't get off of, even though they need to jump on stage and desperately try to get outrage attention by saying F the president and F Donald Trump. Very brave, very courageous, Mr. Greg Miller.
That
or is it
coming.
cringe?
If it's not
whatever your biases may.
That video is coming this weekend. If it's not Friday, then it's definitely this weekend. So yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that it's the East. The East is dominated, and the East is dominating. And you got a lot of the titles that Kyle just brought up with Azure Promelia, Crimson Desert, Inzoi, Mecha Break. Those are all Eastern titles. HoYoverse, all Eastern titles. We went over this yesterday. We went over this on the Sunday show, and I'm not gonna play a video. I'm only gonna play a segment of the video, but I want to share with you guys. I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna put a link to Legendary Drops' video, basically on they're taking over the East.
For a game.
The East is taking over the industry, and nobody's standing a chance, basically. But no, but definitely check out Legendary Drops' video. It's a really good, really good video, by the way. And I'll just play a little snippet here.
Well, it wasn't without controversy. Heck, refused to let you go. Game space. Take Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. This was a game by Cygames, a studio known for gacha games like Grand Blue Fantasy and Shadowverse. Why would they suddenly decide to make a AAA, full production, full-priced game unless they knew it was a smart investment, unless they saw an area of opportunity? Turns out they did, because Grand Blue Fantasy Relink sold 1 million copies in just 11 days, and it has still continued to sell, and the players loved it. Then it happened again with Stellar Blade. Shift Up, another gacha-focused studio, jumped into AAA gaming, and the result? Another massive success. A game that sold over 1 million copies. It's likely to outsell its PlayStation numbers entirely once it actually launches on PC. Modders are going to have a field day with this one. Then a first-time Chinese studio delivers a AAA cultural masterpiece in Black Myth Wukong, a game that shattered Steam's concurrent player records and sold 20 million copies in 1 month. It was bold, visually stunning, deeply rooted in mythology, blending diverse storytelling techniques and cinematic cutscenes, and had exhilarating combat that just kept you hooked. Its tight linear progression and light yet meaningful customization stripped away any necessary bloat. Just offered a pure content-rich experience that pulled you in and refused to let you go. And who could forget Pal World, allegedly made for under $7 million, reaching 25 million players with 15 million copies sold on Steam, a game that crystallizes just about everything players have been asking for, what they've wanted, the freedom that they've wanted. Finally, we saw the release of Marvel Rivals, storming onto the scene with stylized characters, great gameplay, killer performance, non-intrusive monetization, and overall just a fun experience for players that helped the game reach over 600,000 concurrent players on Steam with over 20 million downloads across all platforms. With the success of these games, the shift is undeniable and it's not slowing down. 2025 is already shaping up to be another massive year for Eastern developers. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to explode, potentially breaking over 1 million concurrent players on Steam. I could easily see it. I mean, Monster Hunter World quintupled engagement across the entire franchise, so there's no telling how far this new entry can go. Players are already excited for Phantom Blade Zero, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Light of Motrium, and Tides of Annihilation, all made by Chinese studios stepping up to steal the show. And after seeing all these successes and the engagement that I'm seeing from the players, how excited people are for some of these games that are coming out, I think that Eastern studios have figured out what Western gaming has refused to accept, that the layoffs, the cancellations, the flops aren't because gaming is dying. Players aren't leaving games, they're leaving Western games. They're seeing an industry that's at war with its own audience. They see the greed, the arrogance, and the creative bankruptcy, and they're stepping in to, well, take what Western studios have abandoned. And I think that the industry is threatened by this, and they should be, to be honest with you. I mean, look at the way that games media reacted to some of these releases, because while Stellar Blade reviewed relatively well, it wasn't worth
the West has been threatened by games like we saw this all last year. How much the West were threatened by games like Stellar Blade, like Black Myth Wukong, like Pow World. It's really good. I'm gonna play one more little excerpt from this, and then the full video is in the chat, guys.
Without controversy. Heck, they actually had to write an article to tell everybody, why is Stellar Blade so controversial? Are attractive characters unrealistic? Female beauty standards in gaming need to evolve. I'm sorry, but saying that beauty standards need to evolve is like saying that gravity needs to be more inclusive. You can try to change reality all you want, but people will always be drawn to what they find appealing. That's it. And then came Black Myth Wukong, and that's what they absolutely lost it. Developers not responding to the accusations that they made up, not responding to their headquarters being vandalized because of the accusations they made, not answering questions about inclusivity in a game about a monkey. That's when it became painfully clear. The industry is terrified of these rising Korean and Chinese studios because they can't control them, so they attack them instead. The only controversy surrounding these games was fabricated by media outlets.
Power. I can't tell you. Power, I can't tell you how right. I can't tell you how right you are in that I would disagree in that not only was it April that showed everyone's true colors, but August. Don't forget, August also showed a lot of true colors. October definitely showed a lot of true colors too. Because remember, Black Myth Wukong came out in August. Concord was shut down in August. A lot of true colors came out for that. So you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Power. But it was more than just April. It wasn't just the month of April that did. Yeah, that was that was an article. Okay. So John. Here's the thing. So if you remember the article from if you remember the review from I think it was Screen Rant, who gave a negative point to Black Myth Wukong for not having enough diversity and inclusivity. And people were jumping the gun on how there's no female characters in this game when they've only looked at the first chapter. They only looked at the first 3 chapters. The female characters are much more prominent in later chapters of the game. So it's like, you guys are just making hit pieces just to make hit pieces. You're desperately running a smear campaign against game science. And it backfired catastrophically. Remember, it wasn't just Rebecca Valentine's infamous hit piece. Remember, Ki-Hoon Chan, who supposed to be her translator, the translator who also helped fabricate that hit piece, openly admitted that he hates white people. Just remember that. He openly admits that he hates white people. He doesn't have a fucking job at this point. And all because of supposed rumor that they turned down an offering from Sweet Baby. I'm so glad.
Desperately trying to reinforce their own narrative and their own worldviews. And it became laughably obvious once reviews started rolling in for Black Myth Wukong, with multiple critics slamming the game for a lack of female characters and diversity, not realizing that women played a key role Act 3 and beyond. I brought this up before. I think I showed it off in one of my last videos, but it still blows my mind that Inverse would straight up call anyone who bought the game Chinese nationalists and anti-woke. Let that sink in. Look how detached from reality media has become. Fun action game.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Sean. Sean, you bought and love Black Myth Wukong, so you're automatically a Chinese nationalist. Difficulty. You bought Black Myth Wukong, so you're Chinese. You're an anti-woke Chinese nationalist.
No political messaging, monkey with the big stick go bonk. Yeah, that's fascist. This is about an industry that is panicking. Western publishers and media have spent the last decade trying to dictate what players should want, and now it's backfiring. Eastern studios aren't arguing with their audience. They're just giving them what they want. Hell, I just saw that Marvel Rivals had planned to do mid-season rank resets. The players said no, and Marvel Rivals just said, okay, that's fine. I think that's what a lot of the industry has gotten away from. Not what games should be about, not what games should be, but who games are for. Eastern studios, pretty much across the board, are just doing a better job at recognizing what players want and are giving it to them. That's what you need to do to succeed. A lot of Western developers and media are just so caught up in today's events and politics that they're forgetting that players are playing games to escape from that. Eastern games are thriving because they're not chasing trends or politics. They're chasing timeless experiences. They're crafting worlds that players want to revisit years from now, not just ones that are going to give you Twitter engagement for a few weeks before fading into irrelevance. Just the topical nature of Western games is already a death sentence. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, I played Borderlands 3 a few years ago, and the entire time I was playing it, I was like, dude, nobody's going to remember any of these pop culture references, any of these cringe jokes or anything like that, because it was just so modern day. It was so today for that game when it released. And I'm like, people aren't going to remember this stuff. I was thinking about Dragon Age the Veilguard. Do you think 20 years from now, somebody's going to pick up that game and go, it's about? What are they even talking about in this? Eastern studios have just been
okay. I'm gonna go up on a limb here. Unless Avowed pulls a Skyrim and their modding scene just goes ape-ish over it, Avowed may end up being a forgotten title or remembered for the wrong reasons. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's how I see it. I think Avowed, unless somehow Obsidian course corrects, makes this into like the next Skyrim, where they have a huge modding scene that keeps the game alive for years to come. I believe that Avowed is going to end up being more forgotten, honestly, in time. Dragon Age the Veilguard will not be forgotten, in my opinion. I don't think it'll be forgotten. It will be remembered for all the wrong reasons, though. I do think Veilguard will be remembered for all of the wrong reasons, and I think it's damaged. I think Veilguard's failure and Veilguard's development has really damaged BioWare. I think more so than Mass Effect Andromeda, more so than Anthem, and people are going to remember that too. It's not meant to be niche. It's based off a niche franchise and Pillages of Eternity. So, and Cage, good morning. Good morning. Let me ask you this. Okay, Cage, let me ask you this, because we got 7 minutes and I'm still working on the gold trim. Let me ask you this. Do you think Avowed will be remembered within say a decade? I guess it's a good question. Give it. I would say give it a decade, basically, when we're done. Hang on. Let me draw Grand first, then I'll do Tosh. Okay. Anyway, full video to legendary drops in the description. Shut up, Sean. No, but to I guess it would be a good question. I'm wondering if you're looking at Cage. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Um, do you think Avowed will be remembered fondly? And I guess that'd be a good question. Do you think Avowed will be remembered within 10 years or so? Do you think it'll be something that is worth picking up? Even Deadfire did better than Avowed. Yeah, John said even Deadfire did better than Avowed. Yeah, great. Do you think it will be something worth remembering in 10 years? Do you think it will be, be something that's worth picked up, worth going back to it and picking up within 10 years yeah. No, I don't think so. But without being attached to Fallout, do people remember Obsidian? That's a good question. Because Obsidian, you know what? If New Vegas put Obsidian on the map, that's a good question. New Vegas put Obsidian on the map. This quirky little team showed up Bethesda, basically. And I like to think that ever since then, Todd Howard has been ass mad about it because, the best Fallout game was not even made by Bethesda. Obsidian was always a AA studio, but most people just think it's whatever. To answer your question, Obsidian was always a AA studio. I love Outer Worlds, but most people think it's whatever. Yeah, I think. Good question. People remember. If it wasn't for the success of New Vegas, if New Vegas didn't blow up, would people remember Obsidian? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. I'm probably gonna say. I'm probably gonna say Obsidian would have stayed. Obsidian would have stayed as that very niche. Well, it is a niche. It is a niche game. It is very niche. So Eternity is very niche because when I think about it, when people bring up Obsidian, like before Avowed, before Outer Worlds, when people brought up Obsidian, they would bring up Fallout New Vegas. I'm gonna likely say. Yeah. They're a niche dev team in nature. Yeah, usually with niche dev, it's unless they have huge, they're niche dev in nature. So, Can I ask you this? Cage? Would I can see. I don't know how to put it because I think you already answered it earlier. Because with Avowed, do you think that Avowed could be remembered? Well, Avowed could still hit that. Avowed could hit that like Skyrim levels of support. down the line if if it cultivates a strong modding scene though. I don't know. Well, well, here's the thing. Most likely, no. Nah, because Outer Worlds never did that. Yeah, true. Larian was a, but yeah, Larian was a. True, that is also true. Larian was a niche studio back. Yeah, Larian is a niche studio. Baldur's Gate 3 was so beloved too. Did Avowed ever pull that Elon reference? Oh my goodness! Was it? That's a good. Okay. I don't know if you remember the. I don't know if you remember the whole. I think that was during the. That was during those leaks of the internal Slack messages. Those internal Slack messages that Smash covered. Did they actually put that Elon question? Did they actually put that Elon reference in Avowed? I'm wondering. Okay, we are breaking. Okay, break. That's a good question. I'm curious about that now. So, okay. So we're gonna take the long 15-minute break now. And it is 10 after 8. Okay, so we still got another 2 hours. Okay. With Avowed. With Avowed, I've said my piece. It was Matt Hansen's comments that completely just swore me off. Completely, I completely just like I can't deal with this. Like I can't roll with this. I've said my piece. I've said my piece on that. I've also said my piece on the fact that the game itself, the fact that it just didn't hook me. I guess it just didn't hook me. I guess it just didn't catch my interest. Like I was on, so while I was watching Kyle stream it, I was starting to doze off because it was just nothing to really kind of get me invested and interested. I felt that a lot of the NPC were very lifeless. Felt like they were animated. They were little bits of animation. The light. It felt like it was. Overall from what I've seen, it just seemed Avowed seemed that it needed some extra time to polish, some extra time in the oven. Extra time in the oven, even for AA standards and stuff like that. Sorry, yeah, that's got me thinking. You got me thinking. It just didn't hook me, It just didn't hook me. And then just like I said, the developers' comments were Matt Hansen's comments. That's a little. Yeah, that was also. John makes also a good point. It's okay, you the PR person, the team behind the representative, kind of saying, releasing it, expect the game to have bugs and glitches. It's okay, that's not. I feel like that's going to be points docked against it more, though. Let's check the numbers. Let's just take a peek. We're gonna take a quick peek at the take a quick peek at the Steam charts for Avowed. So currently, right now, it is 12,000 play, 12.5K. Right now, 17.7K in the past 24 hours. 17.1K in both the 24-hour and all-time peak. and this is, this is out of the early release period. Now it's fully this is a full public release. It's really interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. Reviews are definitely very positive. Reviews are definitely very positive. Let me look at about low player numbers for positive reviews. One big hit on Snake Big in the screen. Low frame rate for gameplay means one appeals to the numbers. This one pace is help the thing. Wait, what's this? About number one Steam seller charts is still in early access. Okay. First player count for the launches aren't in. Doesn't want to overstay welcome. Okay. Should you help the voice stream? Miniature welcoming Skyrim. I love Avowed, but hate the divisive nature. Early access. Every question about that. To be honest, I'm just hoping Avowed is better than Starfield and may end up playing this. I feel like that's like a low hurdle. That's like a low bar, though. I feel like that's a low bar. Epic Games said, "Oh yes, that's right." Epic Games 2. Outer Wilds didn't launch on Outer Worlds didn't launch on Game Pass. Yeah. No offense. I feel like that's a low bar. I feel like that's like an easy hurdle right there. I feel like it's an easy hurdle. Despite how I feel, I think it's an easy hurdle for Starfield. Oh my god! I just don't think that people are gonna live back. I just don't think that people are gonna let Todd live down Starfield though. It was for sure. That's right. I mean, like the whole thing surrounding Starfield. I'm not talking about the pronoun ramp, but just how the launch and the launch and everything of how it was a big. You were trying to make this big thing. I don't think the press around Starfield. I don't think that's something that Todd's ever going to let down because this launch was like all over the place too. That's right. It just works. Some things to know. Right, that's true. Outer Worlds did do launch without Game Pass. So. I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to how this is going to all just how this is all going to turn out. I'm very much interested, and I will definitely be there front and center. Front and center. Right there. So it's a good thought. That's something good to think about. It's an interesting. I think it's just like it's an interesting time that we're in right now, I think that is a very interesting time that we're in right now. Like I go back to the Veilguard, and I'm like, Veilguard's gonna be remembered for all the wrong reasons. Veilguard's gonna be remembered for all the wrong reasons. I think it did much more. I think Veilguard did a much more irreparable damage. I like my cozy Western choice-driven action RPGs, even most of them are bad. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. The Western, it's like Western RPGs are at a very interesting time though. Oh. And I want to say this, and I was like, because like I said this a while back, how the success of Baldur's Gate 3 basically raised the bar on Western RPGs on like, okay, everybody is going to be matched up to Baldur's Gate 3 is like the standard now for Western RPGs, and was completely retarded, but at the same time, I think that people are overhyping Obsidian to make them look like a man, make it move. Yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, and even I admit I was even I am guilty of that. Like I said, when you sometimes it just takes one. Sometimes it just takes one. All it takes is just one tweet. All it takes is just one post. All it takes is just you say one thing that everybody just looks at you just like, what the F? One outburst, and it can ruin the development team. And I will admit to that, because not only did I make that first video ripping Matt Hansen to shreds, I made 2 follow-up videos asking Obsidian to address this, because this is going to hurt. This is a bad look. And I stand by the fact that if this was any other industry, if this was any other position, Matt Hansen would be fired. He would be fired immediately. It's just so weird that it was in the games industry. It's like, like I said, I think Obsidian should have addressed this, and they kind of did by basically just telling Matt Hansen to shut up the rest of the way. Yeah, it's probably not. Especially with those constructs like they'll. They should consider AA niche pricing. Facts, yeah, exactly. Exactly. AA niche pricing. You can't go for the like that whole thing with GTA 6 being $100 though. Like this, the whole thing with GTA 6 is gonna be $100. No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna. When I am putting my foot down. I am putting my foot down on an account on going into the industry with $100 titles as the base price. Like, no, gaming should not be a luxury anymore. No, it shouldn't be a luxury. It's always been accessible to everyone. Always has been accessible to everyone, regardless of status, regardless of living income, cost of living income, and such like that. If this industry goes the whole $100 route, that is going to push more and more and more and more people into either going back to the classics, going to their back catalog, which they're already doing right now, looking at smaller title. Well, let's put it this way: if this industry goes to $100, if they think $100 is just going to be the base price moving forward, you got another thing. You have a you are asking for it. You are asking to put a death nail in the industry. Okay, that is a death nail right there. Because no one is going to be shilling out $100 for a base edition title. No game is worth $100. I'm going to be honest with you. No game is worth $100. Shilling $100 for. I'm sorry. No matter how good it is, it's not worth shilling $100. Is bring that back to 60. Bring that back to 60 or even $50. You get your money's worth. GTA 6 releasing at $100 is an automatic hell no for me. Plus, yeah, that is a point of contention. If you're dialing down the humor, which GTA has always been known for how raunchy it is and how it makes fun of everyone. If you're dialing that down, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I think that's gonna be a problem. Yeah. See what you see. You can't have that industry. You've got to listen. You got to listen here, okay? You want Cage's money, okay? Cage is willing to put the money. Cage is willing to put her card down for a new experience, new title here, okay? She is willing. As long as you give making her money's worth, okay? Time is money. Time is of the essence, okay? It's gotta be worth the time. Cult Classic Cage is not the kind of person is very picky on time, okay? Exactly. She's willing to pay for a really good experience. It's got to be worth it, okay? You can't go with this. $100 is no, okay? It's got to be. If not, she like all of us here got a huge back catalog that will last us probably the rest of our lives. I got a back catalog that'll probably last me the rest of my life. I probably don't even need to buy any new title moving forward. I'm just saying. I'm using Cage as an example here. You gotta make it worth it, guys. Industry, you gotta do better. I'm sorry. I'm just like this shit here. Yeah. I do agree. I do agree with you. You're not wrong on that front. Let's get back to the goal calling. No, you're not wrong on that front, Ray. The tolerance has got to the tolerance for this has is the tolerance is got to is almost feel like there has to be a tolerance to this. There has to be a stronger tolerance, strong. Well, yeah. We've seen people put their foot down. We've seen people put their foot down on pricing on with the whole loot boxes. People put their foot down on loot boxes. People put their foot down on the overabundance of microtransactions. People put their foot down on battle passes, on season passes. Like a base game shouldn't go like if you think it's a good idea to put your base title at $100. At $100, and you're offering next to nothing in return on investment, yeah, no. The Western industry is just gonna fall further and further to the might of the not be an industry anymore. You know, you can't run it. You can't run it like that. I'm sorry, you can't. You simply can't. Me, I got a back catalog. I got a back catalog. I'm become full PC master race at this point. I think at this point the console wars are basically over. At this point, the console wars are basically over. The moment that Sony and Microsoft started porting their titles to PC, the console wars is finished. The moment that Microsoft gave up, the moment that Microsoft became a third party, started leaning towards being a third party publisher, is where I'm giving up. Is where I think it's just like this whole console war gave up now. Like I said before, I do believe that the PS5, my base PS5, will likely be the last console I ever get moving forward. I think they'll be my last console. The last console I ever get is my PS5, because I got a PC that's great enough to do Cyberpunk. I got freaking Steam library. I still have a huge Steam library, back catalog, stuff to go in. I got plenty. Not only do I have the Steam library, but I also have, I have so many of my games. Most of my PC titles are modded, and the mods have offered just near endless replayability, like literally endless replayability for me. I do have the gacha titles. I do have the mobile gacha titles, which I play most of my gacha titles on PC now, which I think that should be the standard for all gacha games moving forward, that they all should have a PC launch. They should all have a PC release when it goes global. During a global launch, all gacha games should have a PC release. I'm dead serious. Because that's for me, that's the best experience. Like, I can't play Zenless on anything else other than PC. I can't play Snowbreak on anything else other than PC. Like Nikkei, I can play on my tablet because because on tablet it can run full 60. It can still run a full 60 really smooth, but PC is where it's at for me on Nikkei as well. Because that is a locked 60 with full resolution as well. I think all gacha games should be on PC, me personally. But it was the modding community. The modding scene has made most of my PC titles basically endless replayability. Like, I plan to do multiple playthroughs of Cyberpunk because of the mods now. I always go back to the Ghost Era Need for Speed titles because of the mods now. I can't play stuff like Heat or Unbound or 2015 or Payback on anything else other than PC because of the Unite mod, because of those mods. It was a modder that got me back into Street Fighter at the time. And not only that, I've already showed this off before. Not only that, I have a PS2 emulator. I got a PS2 and PSP emulator. So I never thought that I could get a PC that could run a PS2 emulator as smooth as the PC that I had. and I've had such endless amounts of fun revisiting my PS2 library. It's insane. So it's like I really don't need that, and just with the back catalog, that with my back catalog, the fact that I'm very much supportive of. Do I really need new games? No. Like the newer titles. Like, yes, I'm excited for Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. I'll admit, I'm excited for Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. I'm excited for Tides of Annihilation. I'm excited for basically anything that Shift Up Pump comes out. As far as new titles go, anything from Shift Up is basically what I'm automatically excited for. Okay, so yes, I am going to be there front and center, covering the moment that Shift Up announces Project Witches, which is their next title after Stellar Blade. I will be there front and center. And I look to other, and like as far as excited about the games that I'm bringing up, I have a back catalog. Is it worth? Do I need to get them? Do I really need them in my life? No. 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 You have a back catalog. You have enough games to last you the lifetime to keep you invested. But looking through the list, any game that I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta buy Witches before Maki does. I know. Sean, he's still fingers crossed that there's gonna be some kind of resurgence in interest for Project DT. Okay, DT. We're in an action game renaissance period here. Okay, you got me into an action game renaissance. We're in a freaking action game renaissance period right now. Okay, renaissance. It's like it's becoming the early to mid 2000s all over again, and I'm here for it. It's becoming the we're taking these Eastern. You know what? Now I think about it, I'm like, dang, these indie developers, these AA developers, these Eastern developers are like somehow taking gaming back to the mid 2000s, to the early to mid 2000s, and I'm here for it. Because to me, the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era was the golden age. It's the golden age for me. Project DT is real. I love that. Project DT is real. You ain't wrong. I'm just saying, man. I mean, come on, man. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something a little interesting. Here. So, exactly, man. Exactly. Now, I ain't bringing up Nintendo just because I'm not. Just because Nintendo is doing their own thing. Nintendo always does their own thing, and they do their own thing very well. That's why you don't see me talk about Nintendo as much. I will admit I don't talk about Nintendo as much as other consoles, but as other platforms. But mainly because Nintendo always seems to do. Mainly because for me, Nintendo is always doing their own thing, and they're always successful at it. Like the only time I rarely talk about Nintendo, because Nintendo will always be that. In my humble opinion, for all their faults, and yes, Nintendo has plenty of faults, they're not perfect, but Nintendo will always be that light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of gamers, though. I think for a lot of gamers, Nintendo will always be that light at the end of the tunnel. The Switch 2, listen, the Switch 2 is going to be big. It's going to be big. Okay, it is going to be big. And I think like there was hoopla. Like people were mad at the fact that people were mad at this rumor that the Switch 2 was the graphical capability of the Switch 2 is going to rival that of a PlayStation 4. And I'm like, that's actually a great thing. That actually is a good thing, in my opinion. Because Nintendo didn't need to go for the cutting edge graphics to rival that of the current gen consoles to be successful and to stay afloat. No, they didn't need to. But the fact that matter is that the Switch is going to be much more. They are going to make a much more powerful Switch. They're going to make a, the fact that it's going to rival that of the PS4 is, I think, is a very, very positive sign, in my opinion. I think that's a good thing. Awesome. Because Nintendo is going to on the game front, Nintendo is going to deliver. They're going to deliver, hands down. So that's why I don't talk about it as much. There you go. That too. They'll definitely get more. I think as far as optimization goes, I think we're going to see more of that with the Switch 2 more than the first Switch. I think we're going to see a lot more of these upcoming titles be optimized for Switch. And hopefully properly optimized for Switch as well. So, properly optimized for Switch, in my humble opinion. Exactly. Like, I say this as someone who was a, I guess you could say, a console fanboy and such like that. Just because I didn't have a powerful enough PC at the time. And I really hate seeing that, though. I really do hate seeing that. Because in my opinion, competition always breeds. In my opinion, competition always breeds quality. I think competition breeds quality in general. I think the industry needs to have, in my humble opinion, I think the industry benefits from both Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo at the top, being at the top of their game, like how Sony was with the PS4 and PS2, like how Microsoft was with the 360. Like I would love to have that Microsoft. I think my dream industry is to have all four platforms vying for competition. Vying for your money, vying for competition. Putting out banger, basically a rebirth, basically a rebirth, like a PS, like the it's almost like a sixth generation, a second sixth generation, basically. That's kind of like my dream industry, basically, a second sixth generation with, with every a second sixth or seventh generation where it really was putting out banger after banger after banger. Where it was, you had games that were just putting out bangers like every other week. Where they did have to work with limited technology, they did have to work with, let's bring it more focused on bringing full experiences though. And I'm kind of seeing that with I'm not the limited technology, but I'm seeing the more approach to bringing full experiences from the Eastern devs. And it's so weird to see gacha, developers working on gacha games who spent their time in the mobile gacha market making full AAA releases that are just doing better than the West. To seeing these new up and coming studios produce AAA quality titles and experiences that a lot of people are clamoring for. I think the Eastern devs are seeing a renaissance. I think we're seeing a renaissance period within the East, and it's not through Japan. It's through China and South Korea. You know, I don't know, man. Oh man, that would have been something if Sega didn't dip out of the console market after and it was a shame because it was a shame because for all my faults, I loved the Dreamcast. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, man. It's an interesting time that we're in. It is an interesting time that we're in. You want to keep a close eye on it too. It's such an interesting time. You want to keep a close eye on it too. Thank you. I still think about that. I still do think about that sometimes. But we are in an interesting time in the video game market right now. Do you guys like the one? I want to ask you guys. We got 17 people watching. That's amazing. Smack that like button, make it jiggle. Do you guys like the exposed one leg? Do you guys like that exposed thigh on Bree's suit? Let me know. Oh, I would like to know. I thought about that. If not, I could just cover it up. But do you guys like the exposed? You guys like that one thigh leg exposed? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Answer is yes. Okay. I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, we need this. And by the way, guys, new video on Friday. If not Friday, then Saturday, and then on Sunday, on Sunday's Makini Live, of course, we'll be doing the Evelyn. We'll have a new super chat clip as well. So, okay, it is 5:30. We still have 5.5 minutes in this session, so I'm hoping I need to get much further. We need to make sure we get further here as well. It should be almost done. We should be almost done with Brianna's suit. I think going all black is probably a good idea. If not, let's do a rendering of details here. Details. You guys are freaking amazing, man. You guys are freaking amazing. Okay, let's do the zipper. I like the breeze so far. Yes. I was thinking about that. It's funny. Emerald, and Grumpy. You got me thinking yesterday as I was putting this together about that little discussion we were having, and I'm just like, Bree, like, I could see that, like, because we were talking about like how I could see Bree having to deal with prejudice, having to deal with especially her family, especially her sisters, having to deal with prejudice growing up in Okinawa. And I thought about it. I was like, I could see that prejudice happen from not only from around her, but from internal family struggle as well, as other family members are just not willing to accept accept Bree's family into the fold, though. But also at the same time, I see a lot of that prejudice and struggle kind of like start to ease up more and more as Bree got older, through, you know, kind of be more out and out about it, kind of be more, you know, willing to stand up, willing to kind of speak out and stuff like that. But I also thought of a funny way of how, also could think of a way that how Briannah during her high school years could have been mistaken as Guan Yu. If you guys know what Guan Yu is, it's a very popular thing in Japan. like Karine and Naga, like Karine from Blue Archive and Naga of Nikkei, like mistaken as Guan Yu girls, basically. You could easily pass him. I'm just saying, Bree could easily pass as Guan Yu. Like Bree's like, because like she shares like a similar skin tone to Karine of Blue Archive. So was it Guan Yu? Not Guan Yu. Gairu. That's what it was. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. Got Guan Yu. Gairu. She could. Briannah. Briannah could easily, in some ways, Briannah could easily pass as Gairu. It's a Gairu culture. Sorry, Gairu or Gunguro, maybe. With other like classmates not realizing that she's half Nigerian. Because I know that's a very popular thing, Gunguro or Gairu. I'm just saying that would have been a fun. I don't disagree because it's a culture. It's a culture basically. It's a cool culture though. It's a fun little culture, but it spawned a lot of popular dark skin characters kind of fall. A lot of dark skin characters you see in anime and stuff like that kind of fall into that in a way. Sorry, I was thinking. Where was thinking? No, Gairu. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you. She could easily pass off as that. I'm just saying. Brie could easily pass off as that. I'll put darker. I'll put. I'm just saying. You know what I'm talking about. If not Gairu, then obviously like Gairu, obviously Southeast Asian though. If not Gairu, possibly Southeast Asian with a Southeast Asian with a very dark, with much more darker features, darker complexions, you know. Okay. Who would be dates? It would notice until they're deep. Did you hear about this? Another. Oh, let me check. I'm looking at
over in Japan. The Japanese feminists.
I know what you're talking about. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Bro, I know what you're talking about. I'm laughing. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, so this is pretty great. You're gonna love this. You guys are going to love this. You guys are gonna love this. So it is 8:52. Okay, you guys are gonna love this. Oh, I was dying of laughter.
Have been enraged once again, and this is terrifying news. There's literally dozens of them. So hearts out to the JP bros overseas, and let's check out what's got these Japanese feminists so upset. That would be this commercial from Toyo Suisan. It says, doesn't dashi somehow make you feel relieved? CV Kana Ichinose. What's got them upset though is the animation.
Watch this.
私がうまいとホッとする。ドミドリのターンね、キ。
Yeah, I can just imagine some like terminally online, weird, insecure Twitter feminists getting all
That was
mad about
very,
this.
like-
So they're trying to argue that this is overly sexualized and is
Yeah, that was like ASMR basically.
problematic. And I think someone can make a strong argument that it's less sexualized than it is more sexualized. Like maybe only a few of the frames there are sexualized, if anything.
Mhm.
There's lots of people who enthusiastically enjoy their food. I myself am one of them. Like I'll come home after a hard workout, get some like fresh chicken that I cooked up, and man, chomp down on that meat, and I could feel the protein just like coursing through my veins. It's great. But ultimately, forget all that stuff because seriously, who cares? This ain't even a big deal. And that's the main point. Whether you think it's not sexualized or it is, to whatever varying degree you may think that, the main point's that this advertisement is really a non-issue. This is like so not a big deal. And getting all offended over it is such pathetic behavior. Anyways, that takes us to
Funny
this
though.
Japanese feminist Twitter account who's complaining about the ad. Yep.
It was because it's like an ASMR basically. It's like ASMR, and there's one with a male character, by the way. There's one with a male character too. So, and yeah, here you go. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this one right here. This is one from the male character.
Responses. And so some of these people are comparing it to the male version. I'll play that for you, and you can see for yourself how that goes. Oh, hey, look, I can make a really stupid argument too. The male version, they made the audio so much more vivid. The way
It
he's
is.
slurping up those new
I love it. I love the audio is much more vivid in the male version than the female version. I love that.
noodles. It's so much more dramatic and emphasized in the female version. They're clearly sexualizing the male far more. And sure, he didn't blush as much as the female version, but his eyes, man, you see how expressive his eyes were? They were clearly implying sexual acts. This was like basically pornography. It's so problematic, and oh my gosh, this brand is so offensive. Ugh. Anyways, you get the point. Ultimately, these weirdo complaints would get talked about over on JP YouTube, with this channel, Shima's Room, talking about the situation. Let's hop over to the comments, translate some of the comments to English, and take a look. I think the average person would focus more on the udon and soba noodles in this commercial. Twitter feminists think about erotic things 24 hours a day. Yeah, that goes exactly right back to what we were talking about these people projecting. Like, projection was off the charts. Glad to see that our JP bros are finding similar sentiment about that. A response they got says, there were some Twitter feminists who said pencil sharpeners were obscene. They find sex in all things. Oh gosh. Actually getting mad at pencil sharpeners, yeah, it's not surprising at all. Another response says, I guess, like they.
ASMRs for like pencil sharpeners too. You do realize that there's like ASMR for oh my god, I'm gonna look that up now. Oh my god, there is ASMR for pencil sharpeners. There's school supplies. I love the sound of pencil sharpeners, though, to be fair. I do like the sound of pencil sharpeners. Oh my god, this is a non-issue. Come on.
Over in Japan, the Japanese.
No, I saw that yesterday, Power. I was cracking up. I was like, it's like it reminds me so much of the McDonald's ads from 2 years ago. those JP McDonald's ads, though. It reminds me so much of those JP McDonald's ads from 2 years ago. Oh my god, they got so many people in outrage over that. So we hit multiple things. So we were able to hit multiple things, though. I agree. So we hit multiple things, though, and I'm very I want to. I do want to ask you something. Should we do his AC shots? You know what? No. I want to see this.
And people will give you a pass. I remember back in the day when EA Games came out and pushed SimCity 2000, and it was an online-only game. A game that can be played in single player, but it was online only. And so the entire gaming community had an uproar. They viciously attacked EA Games. But while this was happening, Blizzard released StarCraft 2. And at the time, despite the fact that StarCraft 2 could also be played in single player, it would force you to make an online Battle.net account. And what's interesting is that Blizzard didn't get any type of shit for doing that on any forum by any journalistic outlet. Why? Because they had their brand. Same thing with Diablo 3. You know, Diablo 3 comes out, online only. People grappled a little bit, but they didn't.
No. This one I want to share. Because people, I'm loving this. So this is from Vera Dark. So what was it? Where was it? Oh, here we go.
Stellar Blade's upcoming PC release, Tides of Annihilation, and Wu Chang Fallen Feathers are all games that have upset some sensitive snowflakes on social media. They've already started attacking these games and the people who want to play them by saying, only gooners are excited for these titles, which is ridiculous. But funny enough, their complaining isn't going too well for them because all of these games have all shot up on the Steam most wishlisted list. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon, Flintlock the Siege of Dawn, or Dustborn. I might not like the content, hopefully someone out there does, but I would never tell developers they can't make that content, but I, on the flip side, can criticize it all I want, and as we should, because they're just not good products. Though with games like Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, Tides of Annihilation, and Stellar Blade, they've only been targeted because of breasts, because there are people out there who do not think
because they're pretty, okay? Because it is attractive female characters, and I love that. It as I said, as we put in the in the Sunday Makini live video, a Makini live stream on Sunday. Gaming is healing, okay? When you look at Stellar Blade's upcoming Nikkei crossover, when you look at Uche, when you look at freaking Tides of Annihilation, gaming is healing, okay? It's healing.
think that women can be beautiful and sexy and feminine and also be strong at the same time, which is such an insane mentality to have because it just goes to show that you really don't think that highly of women. There are gorgeous women out there who are strong, who are smart, who are compassionate, who are brave, and who are really just great humans all around. But apparently in video games, that's too unrealistic. And you either need to be super ugly and strong or you need to be a nice, dainty, feminine.
It's like you're good. You want the goon. You can't handle the goon. Okay. I'm gonna say that next time. I'm gonna super check in next time. You want the goon. You can't handle the goon.
Feminine woman who has no agency, I suppose, but all of these games have been highly sought after and talked about, and there is just a lot of hype surrounding them, and for good reason. Stellar Blade is a fantastic game, and I'm so happy it's finally going to be releasing on PC because the modding.
We're going like because it's a 15-minute break, so I still have 4.5 minutes left. So we just
scene is going to be glorious with this title. There are going to be so many mods made, and I think we are going to actually see Nexus mods pushed to the brink of madness. I think that those mods.
Speaking of gooning, by the way, Benito Bain, who has been a member for 27 months, who does not say one thing. Benito, thank you for the lovely super chat. And you know what? You know what? I'm see. If Cage is in the chat. So chat. Yes. Okay. All right. Cass, I know you're listening in the background. And I'm just gonna tell you right now. Uh, here in the Makini Draws YouTube channel, here on WNK TV channel 90, I'm gonna show you a crash course in how to goon. Okay, this is, if you're listening, Cassie, which I know you are, this is how you goon. Okay, thank you for the member chat. You, Bandito, are deserving of some gooning material. Here is some Miyabi for you. I still can't believe I got away with some of the clips in that mod, but I still can't believe I got away with some of that, by the way. we gonna reach peak. We gonna reach peak. We haven't hit our peak yet. We gonna go hard on we going hard on what's freaking Evelyn next Sunday. So get ready for that. By the way, what's that? His name is Miyabi. Her name is Miyabi. It's a bottom heavy mod. I'm gonna show you before we get into it. I'm gonna play this real quick. Let me see if we can play this real quick. This is some of the. This is a. Where is my comment? Where's my commentary? Where's my commentary? Hang on. Where is it? Where's my? I see my commentary video. Where's my video footage? Okay, here we go. I got this one of. I get this early one of Evan. Okay, so it's time to get back into it. Okay, so I got this early. Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? We need to get back into it. So, Mandito, $5 super chats. Mom and Mac, you want to join Geeks Talking Geek this Saturday? Love to have you on. I'll try. I will try. Okay, I will try. I'm probably going to be busy, but I will try. Okay. So, but Mandito, you are getting a. You know what? We're just gonna double it up. Just double it up. We doubled up the cute, sexy, and fun, baby. Whatever you call gooning, we call cute, sexy, and fun. Cute, sexy, and fun, baby. So here's some extra gooning just for you, Bandito. This is how you do it, Cage. That's how you goon. This is how you goon. Okay. Speaking of which, I do get to share this. So I got some great stuff. So I got some great material. I got some really good material with Evelyn. And for those who need a refresher on Evelyn, how Evelyn looks right here. And the best part is, you know what the best part is? I got the full I got this mod to work that turns off the HUD completely. So I'm just like, oh, we are good to go. We are like full screen. Now that means I don't have to do too many close-up shots. No, I gotta share this real quick. I just gotta share this real quick. Hey, so hang on, let me see if I can find it. I gotta find Evelyn here. Where's the full shot? There's like a full shot of Evelyn. There's like a full shot. And the Evelyn that I got is with the Evelyn that I have is also with a mod too. So you can see let me go what the name of the mod is. Okay, here we go. So we got this here. So this is Evelyn's walk animation. I'm just gonna show this right here. This is Ev's walk, by the way, and that is full. There's a lot of cake. Let's just say there's a lot of cake. Best part is like, the best part is like, there were videos I was watching earlier that just goes into slow motion. The fact that Evelyn jiggles in every single part of her body, she freaking jiggles, and it's like the freaking animation is that's a dump truck. This is what you call cake, okay? This is fully clothed cake too. I'm gonna have so much fun with this. So Evelyn super chat this Sunday. So anyway. I love the animation. I'm gonna do like an hour. I am saving up my proc scenes. I'm saving up my proc scenes for Jane Doe or Miyabi, because once I get my hands on them, I am gonna do like an hour long like ASMR like walk animation, just walking. The characters walking, you know. And by the way, yes. If I could find that video, here. Let me find it here. By the way, the version of by the way, Evelyn was kind of the inspiration for Bree's new design. If I could find that shot of this is just without the cake though. That is completely optional without the cake. And yes, it is a lot of without the cape, but with plenty of cake on top of that. So anyway, games. That is a lot of cake though. Like I said, I got the wonder of the wonders of PC. PC modding is a beautiful thing. No, I will have shots of Evelyn without the cape, by the way. Hey. Without her coat, by the way. So, speaking of gooning, let's get back into it. We got. I'm kidding. Okay, so it's 9:14, so we may have enough for like two more. We may have enough for like two more sessions, but let's go ahead and really put a capper on this. Let's go ahead and put a capper on this, and let's start rendering. Let's start the rendering process. I want to get the rendering process up and running today before we end the show. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I love these shows. I love the morning shows now. You guys are really making. You guys are really coming out for the morning shows, and I'm really happy to see that. The freaking what was it? The freaking Makini Live. We're tipping close. We're tipping closer and closer to having like 20 viewers, 20 people watching on average. And in there are even moments where we're getting we're almost getting, like, there are parts on Makini Live where we're almost getting 30 viewers watching, 30 people watching. It's like, that is really, really awesome to see that. You guys are freaking amazing. You guys come out for the morning shows too, where we do focus more on we do try to focus more on drawing. I do focus more on drawing, breaking stuff down, and I love doing this. I absolutely love doing this. I have so much fun putting this together. You guys really help. You can thank Matt Hansen. You can thank Matt Hansen. Me just losing my freaking mind over that. I know Sean probably feels the same way. He could thank, in the same way that Sean could thank Jarrell, Sun Creative Studios, and Asmongold. Freaking everyone give him the fact that freaking Sean got featured on Asmongold. I'm like, bro, you somehow. I know. Yes. It was so funny. It was so funny because of that video, how much people like paid attention. Oh, so many people saw it, they paid attention to the video of me just going off on that answer, man. It's just like, it was just like raw, just like pure, just like raw anger. Like, it was legitimate raw anger. I had to censor myself. I still don't know how to. Like, what happened was that it was one thing that Jarrell was shouting you out. That Sungrand was shouting you out that time, but it was crazy the fact that it was not only it was Jarrell that shouted you out, but Asmongold was watching, was reacting to Jarrell's video when you were shouting out. Like, bro. Maybe that was just right place at the right time. It was at the right time. That's what happens, man. You never, like the whole thing is like, you never know who's watching. Just like, that's the one thing I'll never forget from Air July. It's just like, you never ever know who's actually watching. You never know. So you just go out and just make the best content you can. Just make the best content you can and have friggin' fun with it, because you never know who's actually watching. So, okay. So I did darken. So I did go for some darken some of the black areas, especially on his suit and such like that. What I'm also going to add is darker colors, and I'm gonna put white underneath. I'm gonna put white underneath, and I'm gonna see how this looks like. Looks like Jay. Good to see you. Good to see you. 1, 2. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add let's do this because I want to whiten up the top a bit. I want to see how that looks. Look at that. That could work. That could work. That could work. That actually could work. I don't know if it's the... Because I was thinking it's like, okay, go all black, but I think maybe a whiter top. Maybe. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? The center top should... What do you guys think? Do you guys like the center top being white, or do you like that being black, though? I'm wondering how you want to do about that. Because you guys like the center top with a full mesh underneath, though. Let me know, guys. Let me know if you guys like that. If you guys like that, like the white top with the. Or. Hold on. What if this might be a little too fancy, though? This might be a little too fancy, but what if I gold this out? There you go. So this adds gold to This golds up the. This is part of the jewelry layer. This could gold up the trim. Is that might be a little too fancy, like a little too much for her. Very glamorous design, but that might work. It's very casual. It's like kind of play on that. I think that's one of the things that kind of got me with Zenless. I think about that. I was like, it's kind of what got me into Zenless in the first place was because I'm a sucker for urban. I'm a sucker for the urban aesthetic. So seeing really creative takes on urban clothing is really fun takes on urban clothing would be nice. And this is supposed to be casual. and it's supposed to be urban. I think that works. What do you think? What do you think? White with that gold trim, basically. That gold trim. Okay, I think that can work. It's almost. I always like to think it's like Brie adapting to. I always like to think that it's Briannah herself that is she's appreciating both her. She's appreciating her heritage. She appreciates both. She takes a genuine. She genuinely doesn't want to get rid of. She doesn't want to get rid of her Nigerian heritage, but at the same time, she's also appreciating her Japanese upbringing as well. I think that's a nice touch. Yeah. There you go. Gloves. Black gloves. Okay. So the suit is done. The suit is done. In fact, unless you want to go, yeah, no, the suit is done. The suit is done. Okay, so next up. And by the way, the gold, I guess you could say the gold bracelets around her arms, around her biceps, is very reminiscent. I took it. I can't. Shut up. No. No, I guess this spends. I guess I have too much time in. I guess this is what happens when I spend too much time in Cyberpunk, because I really do like. Despite the fact that she's the villain, despite her being the villain, Hanako has these gold. So like Hanako, she has these gold bracelets. Along with the gold fingers, she has this gold bracelets around her arms like that. I was like, that's a nice touch. So that's why I wanted to add that. Similar to that in with Briannah. Like I said, yes, I think the Arasaka family is evil. I think they are evil, but I cannot lie. I really like Hanako's design though. Oh, what that doesn't go like costume whatever. But she has a really elegant design. Okay, so last thing we gotta do before we start rendering, we still have 15 minutes left. So let's make this quick. So let's do. First thing we're gonna do is the face. They're evil but stylish. That's what it is. She does. Yeah, I was gonna say Briannah does give off that daughter of a 125-year-old emperor vibe. 25-year-old emperor. 25-year-old emperor. She is giving that she is giving that vibe though. I'm really freaking too. So I'm just like, man, I am so happy. Like, I legitimately am so happy that I gave Cyberpunk a second chance. and the fact that I did it on PC, and I'm like, I am loving this game. I love it. I absolutely freaking love it. I am like halfway through. I'm doing side missions. I'm doing the remaining side missions for Mr. Hands before we meet up with Reed in the Black Sapphire. Before we do the Black Sapphire mission. So I'm doing other side missions in the meantime. And like, man, I was like, yes, I agree. Mr. Hands, I think, is the best fixer. The best fixer, I see. This is good. I watched all the endings already. I'm like, I watched all the endings already. Okay, Saya, who's a played as. Saya is not going to end up being end up helping. Saya ends up figuring out that that this is all play to get Saboru to come back come back in his son's body. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing this still. Yeah, we're gonna end this soul killer. We're gonna end this whole soul killer program once and for all. I love Captain Reyes. I like Captain Reyes. The freaking vehicle missions he does is fun. I try to go with okay. So here's my mindset. Here's my mindset when it comes to the gang in Night City. Okay, if it's a Mox, I leave them alone. Basically, if it's a Mox, I leave alone. Moxes are leave alone. Okay, automatically. If it's Moxes, I leave alone. If it's Valentino's animals and tiger claws. It's only attack when in self-defense. It's either in unless it's. I prefer no combat. I prefer no combat approach with those gangs. If it's only unless if it's self-defense and that's the only option, then it's not. Then it definitely is not legal. Even with to be fair, I like to think that Saya has like this rivalry with Tiger Claw, so she can get lethal at times, but most of the time it's non-lethal and only when necessary. Only when that's the last resort, basically. Now, when it comes to, especially with animals is easy. I could just knock them out. I prefer just knockout, non-lethal, stuff like that. When you get to 6th Street is basically attack when necessary, otherwise knock them out or leave them alone, and only lethal when necessary. Only lethal when necessary. If it's the only option, go lethal. Despite that, I have a non-lethal Svensson build with Saya. So I just want to get a non-lethal build, basically. It's only lethal when necessary when it comes to 6th Street, and even with the outlaw, even with Tiger Claws, it's only lethal when necessary. Now, Voodoo Boys. Well, Mr. Cranky Pants, Placide, decided to install a malware on us and decided to play us for idiots, basically using us as cannon fodder during our little storm on the Valentinos in the mall. So with Voodoo Boys, it was lethal. It's lethal, basically. You screw me, so automatically, that's an automatic lethal for you. And I know Dogtown there are plenty of Voodoo Boys in Dogtown, so I'm like, you know what? It is on site. Yeah, they screwed me over, so it's automatically on site. site. You with me. Saya ended up siding with NetWatch, by the way. She ended up siding with NetWatch after she found out how much the Voodoo Boys screwed her over. On top of that, with Alt basically frying Brigitte. Alt basically frying up Brigitte and the rest of the Brigitte and a good number of the Voodoo Boys as well. And I was like, it was funny because we went to, I think it was Strider or whatever the Netrunner was like kind of relieved that you took out that bitch Brigitte too. Yeah, not all Voodoo. You find out like not all Voodoo Boys are on the same. Not all Voodoo Boys are like on the same page. It was kind of funny we had that dialogue with that one Voodoo boy who got pissed off and was like, "You killed Brigitte." Listen. You tried to screw me over by using me to get in, by putting a malware and try to get Saya to breach the black wall to reach the alt. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna deal with this freaking malware here. So you okay. Now, so Emerald, Saya is basically running a Shinobi servant. Basically, for Saya, she's running a Shinobi build, basically. Shinobi, Shervinson build. Shinobi, Shervinson, and Shinobi, Shervinson, and Netrunner build with the serious quick hacks. I use Contagion a lot. I realize how much I use Contagion a lot because it's a non-lethal quick hack, whereas Synapse Burnout and System Collapse is. Let's just say if I need to get past if I can't find any other way to get past sneaking past the guard, I'll end up using Synapse Burnout or System Collapse, which basically just shuts them down completely. So basically this is how Saya sees it, basically. Moxes don't mess with. Valentino's animals, only if combat is the only option. Sixth Street and Tiger Claws combat lethal on site if lethal is the only option. If on site is the only option, basically. If she is being pushed to that, you screw with her, then yes, she's going to go lethal. Now this also goes for Kurt Hansen's little group here, because when we got those two bumbling idiots out of the NCPD precinct in Pacifica, I knew that something was off about that guy, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna end you on site. And like, you know what, I don't trust you whatsoever. I got clients I need to protect, so you know what, and I'm just gonna end you on site. I'll do non-lethal, just take you out so that gets you out there, dude. Now, here's the part. Now, so we got with the Tiger Claws and Sixth Street combat if necessary, on site if necessary. Now with the Voodoo Boys, you screwed me over, so on site automatically. Now, about the Scavs in Maelstrom. I have decided Saya has decided that the Scavs in Maelstrom are too dangerous to exist in this world, so it's on site. So basically it's doing this world a favor. So if it's a Scav, it is automatic, 100% full lethal on site. Basically, I'm doing this world. I'm actually making this world a better place by making them extinct. I feel like that would actually make a world a safer place. Because like no. that goes double for the Ravishers in the Badlands, by the way. No offense. It's not that personal. I've just decided in my head that I've just decided in my head that, you are too dangerous to be kept alive. So I'm doing the world a favor by finishing off every last one of you. To play you. So meaning that basically anyone with any innocent person with cyberware can sleep at night knowing that okay. So Maelstrom and Scabs are automatically on site. I don't care. I don't care. I know what kind of effed up is that you and the Scabs are into. So automatically, I'm finishing you off. I'm doing this world a favor. Okay. Also, I died. I died like 3 times. I died like 3 times trying to fight off Oda during the parade heist. So I was just so pissed that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna kill you automatically. Yes, Takamura was pissed, but you had to understand that. But there has to be an understanding here. Once I defeated Royce in the boss fight, I immediately went to just finishing him off. I'm like, no. To which that was. I still think that's probably one of the weirdest. I still think that was probably one of the weirdest. Probably one of the weirdest side missions I got was that whole meetup with Meredith in an hotel motel. I was like, yeah, no. I beat Royce on hard, by the way. I beat Royce on hard. I was like, you know what? And once we get to Smasher, it's going to be I was like uncomfortable with Meredith. I was very uncomfortable. Okay. Hey, once we get to Smasher, it's triple tap. In fact, it's triple tap plus a grenade. Listen. You got to understand here. Knowing that it's Arasaka, they could somehow put Smasher in the same kind of program where he comes back to life in a different body or something. So just to make sure that he doesn't exist anymore, just to make sure that doesn't happen, it's going to be triple tap plus a grenade. I don't want any trace of Smasher to come to somehow come back from the dead. Come back after being blown off. No, triple tap with his head blowing his head off completely. Like, no. Now for okay. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go for 10 more minutes. We're gonna go for 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. So with Saya, I'm gonna do the I'm gonna try the Don't Fear the Reaper ending. I'm gonna try that whole Don't Fear the Reaper ending. Oh no! I'm gonna use guns on Smasher. I'm gonna use everything in my arsenal. I think Saya and Johnny are pretty much on an even are pretty much are basically on the same page as Smasher. I'm like, okay. And I want to do it without having to, worry about I want to do it without, having to see Saul or Rogue get basically killed by him. So I'm just gonna go at it alone. There's a boycott. There's a boycott. What? Why? Oh.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, not here with Geeky Sparkles. We're going to do an update on the situation with Marvel Rivals, their U.S. studio getting laid off. And China says it's not that big of a deal. But now some people are threatening to boycott the game because of it. So this is an interesting situation. I personally do not believe it's going to have any impact on the game. The game is very popular,
Guys.
but a lot of people...
Guys, listen. I understand the concern. I get the concern. I totally get it, but boycotts usually don't work. In terms of video games, boycotts usually okay. Some boycotts do work, but come on now. Boycotts not really. I get the concern, but I think this is going to fall the same way as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Hogwarts Legacy. This boycott's not going to work. Now, granted, I think this one. Granted, I think maybe this boycott has a bit more leverage than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Hogwarts Legacy, but that ain't going to happen. Sorry, it's not going to work. Especially if your game is blowing up in the way it did. Listen, no. I already swore off Phantom Pulse completely. So yeah, I do think that the little boycott for trying to boycott KCD2 is stupid. So that's my thing. Anyway.
People were caught off guard, myself included, by the announcement that the entire Seattle team had been laid off despite the insane popularity of the game. Now, why they were laid off, I don't know. There are rumors floating around that China was not happy with maybe the activism angle of this Seattle team, or that these people understood when they took the gig that they were just temporary employees because they were in R&D. I have no idea. But whatever the reason is for their termination, NetEase did put a statement out hours after the fact, which I'm surprised. I didn't expect them to.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chinese companies a lot of times won't address what they consider to be nonsense in the US, but this thing is kind of blown up and all the gaming news outlets are running with it. So yeah, they had to issue a statement. And then we have another article where apparently some people are going to boycott the game in solidarity with the laid off, what was it, like 6 or 8 people from Seattle. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, lots of news in the last 24 hours, man. Go back and check. We got a bunch of videos we posted last night because there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on going into the new year. So I posted the video yesterday based on the information that we had available, which was the entire Seattle team got gone. And there was an update as everyone, I'm using finger quotes here, kindly pointed out in the comments there was an update, and I do like to sleep, so I didn't get a chance to record it, but now I'm going to record it. So this I swear to God, people. We had one guy in the comments who was like, "You need to go edit this video right now and add the update." I'm like, does people on CNN, when they break a story, do they go back in time and somehow magically update the story? I don't know. Anyway, this is coming from VG247.com. Marvel Rivals US developers laid off despite having helped make a big hit, as NetEase says it's investing more, not less, into the evolution and growth of the game. Well, the game makes a lot of money. The game is doing very, very well, right? That's why I was so surprised it laid anybody off. But again, if it was understood that they were temporary, maybe they understood it was temporary, and they're still pissed about it, it is what it is, right? Publisher says cutting jobs from U.S. rivals team was a difficult decision designed to optimize development efficiency for the game. So did they have a problem with communication between China and Seattle? Did they have a problem with the people in Seattle just in general? Was it the expense, which I speculated in the other video might have actually been the expense of having people in Seattle at all, because Seattle is a very expensive city. So this guy from Video Game 24/7 says, despite Marvel Rivals having been about as big a hit as you could hope for since it arrived, publisher NetEase just laid off staff from the U.S. development team. News of the job cuts broke when Rivals devs at NetEase Seattle-based studio began revealing they'd been let go, with the likes of game director Thaddeus Sasser, plus level designers Gary McGee and Jack Burrows posting on LinkedIn about having been laid off. Sasser said, yeah, this is such a weird industry. My stellar, talented team just helped deliver an incredibly successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for NetEase, and we're just laid off. They've issued a statement confirming the layoffs at the U.S. Rival studio have taken place, but it doesn't appear to have shared exact numbers in terms of those affected. But it has confirmed to PC Gamer that Marvel Rivals now has no Seattle-based developers working on it. So it's 100% Chinese, I guess, at this point. The Chinese publisher wrote that the reduction of the Seattle-based team was a difficult decision taken to optimize development efficiency for the game. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected, and we'll be treating them confidentially and respectfully with recognition to their individual contributions. Sounds like a severance package. They said the core development team in China remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. So this is it Stephen Totillo? Here's the statement. Let me see. We'll read the full statement here. When was this? This was yesterday. Warrior 64 had it. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, guys, I wasn't up at 1 o'clock in the morning to record the video. We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals development team structure for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. This resulted in a reduction of a design team based in Seattle that's part of a larger global design function in support of Marvel Rivals. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected, and we'll be treating them confidentially and respectfully with recognition for their individual contributions. So Sasser was kind of touted, and I don't know his role particularly, but my understanding was he was the director of the game, and it turns out that he was actually the guy in charge of the Seattle studio. Now, how much sway he had over the entire game, I don't know, right? But I know his name had come up multiple times in the press and on Twitter, so I have no idea. But he doesn't seem real happy about getting laid off. I mean, who would be happy about getting laid off? We want to reassure our fan base that the core development team for Rivals, which continues to be led by lead producer, I am going to botch these names. I'm going to
put the full video. He's got the full video. You can watch it later. I don't see anything from him now. But I agree with Jay that this statement is very vague. It's a very vague statement. So we'll see. I'm going to watch the video later, but we'll see how that turns. That's a very interesting development. So big shout out to Power for keeping us up to date with this. Power, you deserve a Power, you sir deserve a round of applause right there. Okay. Daryl's here for a good team. Thank you, Power. Thank you, Power. Also, Daryl's not here, so Power, you also get a
my nigga.
There you go. Thank you, pal. Yeah, I was getting a Denzel clip. I'm saving that Denzel clip for Daryl moving forward. Yeah, the statement is very vague. I agree. I agree with you, Jay. The statement is really vague. And we'll probably, and there clearly is clearly there's much more to this story than what was initially broken yesterday. What was originally broken yesterday? There's way more going on here. So that will be something we'll be very interesting in. As for me, unfortunately, I only got to the start of the rendering process. Only I got to the start. However, look at that. There you go. The flats are done. Bree is ready to go. So I know what you guys think. Oh, the new, please. New look. Very Evelyn inspired. Fun today. Thank you everybody for stopping by. A little fun today. You guys are a blast. You guys are an absolute blast. You guys do me a favor, smack that like button, make it jiggle, smack that subscribe button, make it jiggle as well. Trying to get to 6K before the end of the year. And tomorrow is Briannah's birthday, by the way, so I'll do a little special post just for her. So, guys, wish this lovely lady a very wonderful birthday. I will have so her design will be ready for Sunday. So she'll pop up on Sunday, fully ready to go, and then I'll work on the Mindscape for Briannah next as well afterwards. I really like this design. I really do like this one. Very elegant, very slimmed down, but really does stand out. I think this one. I think this one's a peak. I think this one might be a peak. Designs. I think this one might be a peak. So, thank you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing this morning, and I wish you all the wonderful rest of your day. Makini 90, Art Terminal Illustrated. Thank you for tuning in to this Wednesday edition of Makini in the Morning. Until then, stay cute, stay sexy, have fun, take care, much love. Never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in your video games. And above all else, never stop drawing. Bye, y'all.
Cute, sexy, and fun. That is definitely the best way to describe our channel members as well. We'd like to thank every one of you in the CSF Nation for supporting Makini and what he does for his YouTube channel. If you would like to become a CSF Nation member, join the channel for as low as $1 a month. You get access to exclusive art drops that Makini drops every 2 months for his channel members. We'd love to see you here in the CSF Nation. You are an excellent company, and we thank you once again for your incredible support. CSF Nation for life. Mwah. Gracias. Thank you for tuning in to Makini in the Morning and getting your morning started off on the right foot with us. Remember to smack that like button, make it jiggle, share the show out to everyone you know, become a channel member for as low as $1 a month. You want to support Makini further, and subscribe, of course, to see more content from Makini. I am Maddie Soteli, producer and weather girl, and we wish you a wonderful rest of your day. We will see you all here next time on Makini in the Morning. Makini in the Morning is filmed before a live studio audience at Makini Studios in Arcadia Village's South Tower, right here in Pacific City. Want to be a part of the next Makini in the Morning Live Chill audience? Well, all you have to do is visit youtube.com/Makini90 or call 765-9077 toll free. Makini in the Morning is produced by Souvenir Productions with Makini Charles Productions in association with Enlisa Lockhart Television and Makara Benz Entertainment, and is distributed by CSF Nation Domestic Television Distribution.